Hello, everyone. My name is Jared Bailey, and this is my Toolkit screencast for ENT 630. The topic that I'm sharing with you today is production and operations management. Before I get started, I do like to put out the disclaimer. Um, I am currently a logistics manager in a warehousing industry for a major retailer. And I've been doing this for the past 5 years. So this topic um, I carry out on a day-to-day basis on my job, and I've had a great amount of experience with this. So that's why I chose these topics. So I'll be able to give you more personal examples as well as some research that I've done online. But I think this is a great way for me to share something that I deal with on a professional level. So let's get into it. So production management. Production management is planning, organizing, directing, and controlling of production activities. The main thing is to have a set plan on what you're going to create. You never want to go into a situation where you're making too much, making too little, or that you're not able to keep up with the market. Um, Now it's a little different for myself professionally. With the retailer that I do with, we don't necessarily produce our items. We receive them from vendors, and we we get them through. We receive them into our warehouse, process them, organize them, store them, and then process orders as they come along. And once those orders are filled, we load them up and ship them out. So a little bit different than say your typical way of thinking of producing products. Maybe a jewelry maker or I don't know, a baker or something of that nature, where you're actually producing your finished product that you're looking to sell from raw material. But either way that you look at it, you have to have, like I said, have a plan, have to organize that plan, direct and control your products and your activities. One way to help with this is setting your goals on producing. Um, you need to have a set plan on how much you're gonna make by a certain mark. A typical way to monitor it is in my industry is units per hour. So I want to be at X amount of cases by the end of the day, and I need to make sure I have that plan in place. So I need to look at how much time it takes me to do each function of my job. So it should take me X amount of time to order fill this many cases. So production goal in an apartment like mine, in some areas, a person is supposed to order fill 95 cases per hour, just based on the type of merchandise that we're handling, and the difficulty it is to handle it. Um, and this is done by evaluating exactly what the person will be doing, and doing case studies, time studies, more or less, and take into account fatigue, also, um, and just a bit, and just overall obstacles that do come along your way, in order to make that goal. And you also look at different trends as well. If a person, if your goal is constantly being blown out of the water, your goals set too low. Your production goals set too low. But if it's something that a lot of people make, but not everyone makes, then you typically have found a great mark. Because you never want to. It's trying to find that balance. You never want to set it to where everybody makes it all the time. You want to be able to where it's something that's always strive for. You always want it to be something that it's a stretch to make it. That's how you get the most out of. That's how you get the most production um, out of your people, and it's the most efficient. Monitoring production. So we have different systems that allow that will tell us exactly, what count we're at, how much this person has done in this amount of hour, and what their hourly rate is at that moment. And it's a little bit, I guess, a little bit harder to find on a smaller scale. I actually try to do some research and see are there any systems out there. I didn't come across any necessarily that can help. Let's say a smaller business, but typically, if you're an entrepreneur, you should know by yourself. If you set a plan in place, a process in place, you should know exactly how long it takes you to do something to be efficient and effective. But again, always follow up and check and monitor your production um, of an operation. You never want to just blindly assume that it's being taken care of. Make sure that you're constantly checking and make sure that you're being efficient. And measuring units again, referring back to units per hour. So that's a metric that I'll go by. Um, and again, it's a mark that you're always trying to hit on a day-to-day basis. And this also helps calculate cost per unit as well. So just again, have look exactly what you're doing and evaluate the best way to track it, to monitor it, and also setting your goals. And this is just a diagram, and that's actually a picture of me myself. No, I'm just kidding. But this is a diagram of your basic assembly line, in a sense, and how things will go in typical production lines and things of that nature. So as you can see here, the person has the starting point, the raw materials over here. It should take him X amount of time to complete his task. Once he's done it there, he passes it down. It takes X amount of time here, so on and so forth until you get to the end of the line at the finished product. And it's great that you always again supervising and monitoring how things are operating. Never, like I said, just let things flow or let things just assume that they're going correctly. Um, Always be looking at different ways to be more efficient as you're going along throughout your operation, and you'll find more productive ways. You typically can find more productive ways to operate in your areas. So let's go on over. So operations management. This is a little bit more larger scale of supervision. More or less, you're looking at the processes of things. Well, let me give you the definition that I found. The administration of business practices to create the highest level of efficiency possible within an organization. So, like I said, it's not focused more or less on one department. It's a overall view of how things operate to make one. So, in my area, in my warehouse, we depended on all areas in the warehouse. The receiving team has to do their portion. Then the order filling department has to do their portion, and then shipping is a separate portion of itself. And as an operation, as you look at managing an operation such as logistics or shipping out to stores, you have to make sure that you look at how am I going to get from point A to point B to point C, and you look at all the little different venues and ways on how to not cut corners but be the most efficient overall. Um, so again, connecting all the pieces and make sure that everybody is on task and make sure that there is no lag time or any dead labor going towards anything. You don't want to put a task in place that brings no value to your business, to your operation. If it's an unnecessary step, it's costing you time and money. And you make sure that you try to cut that out and make sure you're being more efficient. And then make sure again it flows correctly. You don't want to one department can't run over top of another. So receiving can't send down to shipping more than what they can put into a trailer or put um, or more than the order filling team can order fill at a time. And shipping can't drain the receiving team completely dry where they're sitting there waiting and have lag time. So again, finding that balance is the main thing with operation management. And as you operate in your business, again, these things will become clearer to you exactly where you can become more efficient. So again, we have another diagram here, and this is the way to look at. So starting here, you look at your current production and where you're operating now. You record your numbers, report it, and you detect any anomalies. Anomalies are things that may cause a spike up in downtime or something for it to go wrong. You rank the impact of these anomalies. What's the biggest or the smallest? And you typically work from the top of the list down. You diagnose exactly what is causing these anomalies and start at base process of it. There's two different ways you can go about it. You can correct or improve the infrastructure. Maybe it's a certain area that you're utilizing to store or stage your merchandise or product. Maybe you can look to map it out different, or um, you can look to upgrade. Maybe it's a different type of technology in place that you can put um, in a different way of processing your merchandise. But yeah, through these two functions here, you eventually go back to, and you once you solidify that, you'll have a way of producing at the highest level, and you continue to do this cycle in order to stay the most efficient. There's always going to be something different that you can do. I don't think there's one set plan that won't you can say that won't be topped or won't be done overdone. So be constantly looking at your operation and figure out how to better to be more efficient in your operation. I'd like to thank you guys for viewing and listening into um, my screencast. Here are a few links that I looked up, and also, like I said, I have over 5 years experience in this, and it's still very something near and dear to me that I'm proud of, and say that I can contribute to on a day-to-day basis. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys learned something, and have a great day.